Hello and welcome to this short grammar video presentation which is looking at conditionals and using if as a third conditional. This is part 2 of an English grammar review. Part 1 looked at first and second conditionals, and this video we're looking at third conditionals. So before we go any further, let's just review what are conditionals. We use them a lot, but what are they exactly? Well, conditionals are used to speculate about what will happen, what could happen, and what might have happened. And in this video, we're going to focus on what might have happened, because it's the third conditional. In English, most sentences using the conditional contain the word if. There are other ways to create conditional sentences, but if is the easiest and most popular. So let's look at these 4 conditional sentences. They all use if, but they're all different types of conditional. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. That's a zero conditional. It's a fact. The next sentence, if I pass the test, my parents will buy me a new phone. That's a first conditional. It's looking at a realistic situation. If I pass the test, my parents will buy me a new phone. Both of these things are realistic and could happen. The next sentence, if I won $1 million, I would travel around the world. That's a second conditional. It's a hypothetical situation, something that is not very realistic, something that may not happen, probably won't happen. But if it did happen, this would be the result. If I won $1 million, I would travel around the world. Okay, second conditional. And finally, third conditional, and that's what we're looking at in this video. If I had woken up on time, I wouldn't have been late. So let's focus on that third conditional. So how do we create the third conditional? Why do we use it? When do we use it? What are the grammar rules? Well, third conditionals are for unreal past condition and its probable result in the past. So we're talking about something that has passed already, and we're thinking if it had been different. Okay, so we're looking at the past, thinking, I wish something was different, and talking about if things had been different in the past, what would have happened? Example, if I had set my alarm, I would have arrived on time. Okay, and we use if with the past perfect tense, comma, and then a perfect conditional. So if I had set my alarm, I would have arrived on time. So looking at the past, changing the past, and then thinking what would have been different if I had changed the past. A bit like if you had a time machine and you could go back and change what happened in the past. So here are some more examples. If I had been there, I could have helped. Okay, we hear that a lot. Okay, if I had been there, I could have helped. Another sentence we hear often. If you had studied harder, you would have passed the test. Something parents and teachers often say, I'm sure. If you had studied harder, you would have passed the test. Next one. If he had driven more carefully, he wouldn't have had an accident. And finally, if I hadn't missed the bus, I might have been early. Okay? So a past conditional, looking at things in the past and saying how they could have been different. And with third conditional, we can use would, could, might, or may with the perfect conditional. Okay. The same as first and second conditionals, we can change the order in conditional sentences. So if we look at the example, if I hadn't forgotten my homework, my teacher wouldn't have been, my teacher wouldn't have been so mad. My teacher wouldn't have been so mad if I had forgotten my homework. So we can change it around, okay? What's important to remember is if you use if in the middle of a sentence, you do not need a comma, okay? But if you start a sentence with if, you must have a comma. Okay, easy to remember. And just look at this video here. Just look at this slide. My sentence is wrong. There's a mistake in the grammar there. So my teacher wouldn't have been so mad. Okay? Right. So just to remember, okay? Third conditionals, we use the past perfect plus the perfect conditional. All right. And now it's your turn. So if you can write down number 1 to number 10, I have 10 sentences which I would like you to create grammatically correctly in the third conditional. And here are those 10 sentences. Okay, the answers for these 10 sentences will be in the description of this YouTube video. So you can press pause, write down your answers, and then you can check them in the description of the YouTube video below. Okay. Well, I hope you have found this video useful. Please do check out all the other English grammar videos we have on Teacher's Notes, and remember to click like and subscribe. And if you have any comments, please do leave us a comment. Thank you very much.